Good evening and welcome to this special report brought to you by the channel Life and Times of a Filipina. The report this evening is on a grave concern, a virus which was in the UK long before the coronavirus reached the UK and possibly more devastating. With that, our thoughts go to those who are affected with coronavirus. It has nothing to do with you. The special report says that the Morono virus, and people who are affected by this, we call them morons. The virus started some time ago, and the epicenter seems to have been in London, and Westminster seems to be the original source of the outbreak. The symptoms include delusional. They either become liars or believe everything they hear. And another symptom of this horrible disease is racism. This was very evident. The proof of the outbreak became very clear during the Brexit campaign, with all the lies told and the racism and what have you. And the liars also, they have another problem, and that is their ears. They don't seem to listen to anyone. It's not that they can't hear; they just don't listen. And we call this part of the problem Brexit ears. So, and the Prime Minister seems to be most affected by this disease, which is quite slightly disturbing for the nation. And he's lost all sense of direction. This is obvious when he announced the HS2 go-ahead. And I can demonstrate this, his total lack of direction, with this map. It's a map of the UK. Now, the Prime Minister said that HS2 is going to connect the south to the north, and it will benefit the whole of the country. Now, if I draw on this map, it will go from London to Birmingham, right? So on the map, there we have it, London to Birmingham. Now, up here in the north of England, what I would call the north of England anyway, there's a little village called Kielder, and I don't even know whether they still get the bus, but it used to be once a week. I can't see how people from Kielder are going to be able to get to either Birmingham or London to travel on this new HS2. So I cannot see how it benefits them. But apart from that, getting back to the sense of direction, there is north, south, east and west. So, Prime Minister, if you're listening, it depends. That is the map of the country, and that cannot be argued, right? But what you are saying is it will help the north. It links the north. Well, that would depend where you're standing. If you're standing on the south coast, everywhere's north. But if you're standing in Kielder, it's the south. So it depends where you're standing. But as a map of the country, I'll split it up. It's very simple. There we have it. If you split the country and look at it, north, south, east, west, that rail link is in the south of the country. It's not in the north. It doesn't link the north and the south. Your sense of direction is all wrong. I can also prove this with another map I have. It's a world map with most of it missing, but it does have Antarctica on. Now, Antarctica, if you were there, Mr. Johnson, which I wish you were, you could do very little stamp. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, if you were there and you're standing right at the bottom, everywhere would be north. And just the same with the North Pole. If you're standing at the North Pole, everywhere would be south, and that isn't the north, you know. You have no sense of direction. So, which brings me on to another problem. This must have come on, with this Morono virus and you being a moron. Your government, or you state that you want to help climate change. I think you are helping climate change, not helping combating it, because you sent Dominic Raab to Australia, which is the opposite side of the planet, to discuss trade. And there's two things that really impact on climate change. There is travel, flights, boats, whatever. There's travel, shipment, transportation, and cattle. So what have you done? You went to Australia to get them to ship cattle from Australia all halfway around the world to the UK. That's part of the trade deal. Well done. Anyway, there is no cure for this Morono virus, and morons will probably remain morons for otherwise. And anyone who goes to Westminster will probably be affected by this Morono virus and become a moron. You find this, in most cases this does happen. There's been very few people that have got away without becoming a moron in Westminster. But hopefully we can work on an antidote. Guy Fawkes tried once, but he didn't quite get it. He mixed some gunpowder with something to try and get an antidote, but it didn't quite work. But maybe, just maybe, we'll get an antidote at some point in the future. Maybe something like not have a government and just have sensible people running the country. That would solve the problem. Anyway, this message, this alert was brought to you by the Life and Times of a Filipina. Like and subscribe. More stupid videos on the way. Thank you.